Hello there, this is Gregory Baird and Fluffy Kitty coming to you from Canada's movie and TV hosers. Just working my way through all the different things that came out this Friday because everything is dropping on Friday at this time. So now I'm going to be talking to you about Invincible Season 2, Episode 2. So this is a spoiler review. I mean, even the title of this episode is a spoiler, so if you haven't checked out by now, I mean, what are you doing here for a spoiler review? Episode 2 is called In About 6 Hours I Lose My Virginity to a Fish, which is a long title, but it's funny. And that's because if you've watched the episode, you know that Mark has to, at one point, he thinks he's going to go and marry this fish queen to deal with some problems that they're having with the Atlanteans, but he ends up just having a big fight, so ritual combat with a giant sea monster. What I enjoy about this episode, the interactions between Mark and his mother Debbie are quite interesting, and Mark's kind of just running himself. He's just working himself too much as Invincible, working for Cecil, trying to avoid his father's legacy. So he's trying to not be his dad, but also, help out as well. But a bit too much. The stuff with Adam Eve is quite interesting because she's not trying to be a superhero. She's using her powers to try and help out. And while she is helping people, I mean, there are unexpected consequences that happen with the apartment building, but that's not her fault. And her dad is he's a real dick to her. That guy just needs to lighten up. What is he seems to have something against her for some reason. Maybe he knows that technically she's not their child, but I don't know. That guy just seems to be really I don't know, just cut her some slack, man. Quit being such a hard ass. What else we got here? The stuff underwater wasn't that interesting. The stuff with Darkwing 2, that was all right. I mean, that guy was giving it his all against. Essentially, it's just a second Batman who's going up against a Superboy or second Superman. The I do want to talk about the cast because Steven Yeun, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, does the voice for Mark Invincible. Now I wasn't too aware of his work, but if you're watching this show and with the brutal violence in it, and you don't mind adult topics, obviously, if you're watching the show Invincible, check out Beef on Netflix because that stars him and can't remember the other lady who stars in it at the moment, but man, that Beef show is really good. It's all about anger issues. So yeah, definitely check out his work. Ali Wong, that's who it is. That's who is co-star in Beef. But there's a lot of big names in it. I mean, Sandra Oh plays Debbie, his mom. She was in Turning Red recently, but she was in 9 years of Grey's Anatomy, which isn't my show, but I mean, she's on it for 9 years. According to IMDb, it says she was in 220 episodes, so I'm sure she's got a lot of fans out there. J.K. Simmons. Now, that's the one that kind of throws me off because he's Omni Man, he's Mark's dad, Nolan. But when I hear him speak and when I look at the character, all I see is an animated J. Jonah Jameson, which is one of the roles that J.K. Simmons is known for. Zazie Beetz is in it as his girlfriend there. Walt Goggins is great as Cecil. That's perfect casting right there. I mean, it does have a lot of big name voice actors, but most people, including myself, don't recognize them. Zachary Quinto doing the voice of Robot, he is creepy. Very, very creepy. Now, Jason Mantzoukas, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, as Rex. I've seen him as a comedian in some other things there. He's pretty good there. Curry Payton pops up. Curry Payton, that's Cyborg right there. He's been doing the voice of Cyborg in animation for years and years. And also he's in The Walking Dead. I mean, he's incredibly talented. Clancy Brown's in it. Mark Hamill. Hold on, who did I want to bring attention to here? Mahershala Ali, yeah, is Titan. That's not it. Sterling K. Brown is doing the voice of Angstrom Levy, who seems to be the main villain for this season, or one of them. But man, there's so many big names that pop up. I'm not going to go through all of them, but one of them I will note is that I like the high school they go to is the Reginald Vell Johnson High School, named after Reginald Vell Johnson. If you don't know who that is, he played the dad in Family Matters back in the 90s. And they have him doing the voice of the principal, which that's a great callback. Not my favorite show, Family Matters, with Urkel there, but I did watch it a lot because in the first half of the '90s, it was all about sitcoms, and so Family Matters and Growing Pains and Family Ties was back in the '80s. Was a Full House, yeah, from '90s. All these after-school special sitcoms. They're very G-rated, so they're very kind of bland, I guess. Anyway, that was a nice callback in that they included Reginald Vell Johnson in that. I thought that was interesting. But this episode, I enjoyed the stuff with Adam Eve. I'm really confused about this Martian that escaped because they got all these like parasites that are coming, and he's a Martian and he doesn't quite fit. He doesn't know how to act in human society on Earth. So is he trying to be a good guy? He takes on the moniker of Shapesmith to join the Guardians of the Globe. Which, by the way, the Guardians of the Globe just seems to be a real mess. That Immortal guy, he's just kind of a dick. And, I mean, so is Rex, but all they're doing is training while Mark has to go off and do all the work. That just seems... I don't know, that just seems lazy on their part. If they're the Guardians of the Globe, maybe not just train all the time, go out and help people. Also, why is the Monster Girl on the team? If every time she transforms into a monster, into that giant Green Goblin-esque thing, she loses a week. She de-ages for a week. And yet she's 24, 25. Why didn't she just take some time off from doing this? There are other strong superhero characters. We saw a bunch of them last season when they were doing tryouts for the Guardians of the Globe. It's as if she wants to be, look as if she's a 14-year-old girl. That seems to be an easy problem to just take time off, not have to worry about it. But, okay. The interaction between Cecil and Mark's mom, Debbie, it's fine. What else we got there? The Atlantean stuff was just kind of just a fun-filled adventure. But what Angstrom, this guy who got this like giant brain thing coming out of his head now, he's up to something, and he's trying to figure out how to, I guess, defeat Invincible. But also Cecil is doing that too, because when Mark fights that giant sea monster or kaiju, he gets injured because of the sound that the thing makes. There's Kaiju is injured by its roar, which tracks because one of the very few vulnerabilities of Superman is sound, and that because of his super hearing, if you do a pitch at a certain frequency, it really injures them. So Cecil saw this during the fight, and he's going to have the R&D team look into it. I don't think he's plan on using that against Invincible unless he turns against him, because Cecil has to be in control. But it's probably more, for getting ready for, the return of Omni-Man, but also possibly other Viltrumites that might be coming, which are the aliens. They're essentially just the Kryptonians. There's so many parallels to DC, particularly DC. There are some Marvel and other superhero comparisons in this, but I think it's mostly just focusing on DC. Nevertheless, this wasn't the most exciting episode. Still, I'm enjoying it and I'm on board. Is anyone else out there watching Invincible Season 2? Let me know what you thought of this episode and the first episode, which is called A lesson for your next life, which had to do with multiverse. Man, I'm getting so sick of this multiverse stuff. Whew, everyone's doing it these days. This seems to be the big Hollywood trend right now, and I'm already fed up with it. But that's probably just because we've been getting so much mediocre stuff. However, this Invincible show is not mediocre and it's really good, so check it out as long as you're okay with really brutal animated violence. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Fluffy Kitty would appreciate if you leave a like down below. You can always leave a comment for us and we'll get back to you. Our social media is down in the description below, and you can always subscribe for more content. Take care.